I've never understood people's obsession with shoes, whether it be women that I dated in the past or buddies of mine who have like 500 different pair of sneakers. Shoes have always been like a means to an end to me, right? You put them on for a purpose. You wear boots when you're out hiking. You wear sneakers when you're running, cleats if you're out doing sports. I just never understood the allure, the fascination, the obsession. And then I had a speaking engagement in Texas. It was me and Mark Geist, Oz from Benghazi. And I realized while I was out there that all of these big cowboys had these killer boots and belt buckles. And so I jokingly made a comment about how the next time I spoke in Texas, I was gonna need some boots and a belt buckle. Lo and behold, about a month later, I get these boots in the mail. This was about 8 years ago. Texas boots, the bottom of them have Texas. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, and they were super comfortable. And I wore these boots all over the place. And in my mind, I was wearing these as sort of a tribute, not just to Texans, but as the law enforcement, as a tribute to the law enforcement officers that we try and work to support every single day. And so these boots, man, they've been all over the country. They've been on the border many times, Arizona and New Mexico and California and Texas. They've been in the air. We've done ride-alongs with Tucson PD and Texas DPS. They've been literally walking beaten paths that the illegal immigrants were crossing, and we were out with National Border Patrol Council. They've been in states that were never considered border states before, but the truth is that they are border states now. I wore these boots when we interviewed family members of kids who died because of fentanyl overdoses. I wore these boots when I was in DC and California and Connecticut and Chicago giving speaking engagements, and was really just trying to bring a little piece of those officers with me every single time I spoke. I've quite literally bled on these boots accidentally. Luckily, it wasn't that bad. I've cried on these boots more times than I care to admit. I've interviewed thousands of wounded officers, active officers, surviving spouses of officers killed in the line of duty, surviving kids of officers killed in the line of duty. And so for the first time in my life, I actually understood what a pair of shoes meant, because it's not just about something that you wear on your feet, but it's about the stories that are represented. Well, it kind of got to the point where after 8 years, this is the longest I've ever had shoes. They're a little bit faded. They're a little beat up. They're still in spectacular shape, but I was inducted into the National Law Enforcement Officer Hall of Fame as their Civilian of the Year. And at that speaking engagement, I spoke a little bit about the journey. And I decided it was time to retire these boots and put them up on the Whiskey Wall. The Whiskey Wall is where we invite active and retired emergency responders and veterans to the studio. To the Whiskey Wall, they bring a bottle of whiskey, we share a cocktail, they tell you a story about a good day on the job and a lousy day on the job, and then they sign the bottle and the bottle goes on the wall. So these boots are officially being retired to the Whiskey Wall. And I posted about it on social media, and Durango saw the post and they reached out and they sent some brand new boots. And this has an American flag on it, but if you look closely, I don't know if they meant to do this or if this is just my interpretation of it, but these new boots have a distressed American flag on them. And they're gorgeous. I can't wait to get them on my feet. But I think that this is an even more accurate representation of where we are in society. These Texas boots represent so much and mean so much to me, and really stand for the men and women in Texas and in law enforcement. But right now, I think America is in a state of distress. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, a conservative or a liberal. I think at the end of the day, every single American wants the safety and security of our families, of our children. And I think the most important way for us to achieve that is by shutting off politics for a minute, shutting off social media for a minute, and actually trying to walk a mile in another man or a woman's shoes. And we believe that the men and women who put on that uniform every single day, kiss their kids goodbye, kiss their spouse goodbye, pray that they will return to them, those men and women are going into battle every single day for our country. That is symbolic of what we must do as a nation. So God bless you all. God bless America. And on behalf of the largest police news outlet in the world, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you. Thank you to Durango. And thanks to everybody for reposting this video, because this isn't about shoes, this isn't about me, but this is about the perseverance of every single one of us.